How are you guys today?
Good.
Alright, we are going to start class with a bell ringer. And the question is it important to have facts, details, and or examples to defend an argument? Why or why not? So take a couple of minutes just to jot down your thoughts, and then we'll share them with the class. Does anybody want their chocolate or? Does anybody need any more time? That's all. Okay, so is it important to have all of these things within an argument?
Yes.
Why is it important?
It's just an opinion about it.
Exactly. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be looking at a few lines from King Lear by Shakespeare. In it, he is describing his view of the relationship between wealth and justice. Your job in your groups will be to paraphrase what he is trying to say, and you're also either going to have to defend, challenge, or qualify whatever he is saying. Do you all know what those three things mean? Defend, challenge, qualify? Kinda, sorta, maybe? So what does it mean to defend something? Does it mean that you are agreeing, disagreeing with the topic or subject? Agreeing. Okay. So what do you have to defend something? Evidence. What is that? Facts, books. Alright, so to defend an argument is to explain why you agree with the statement. You may think, for example, that abortion is okay, but without some type of support for your argument, it's just going to be your opinion, as you said. So in the case of what we're doing today, you are going to be agreeing with how King Lear feels about the relationship between wealth and justice. Does anybody have any questions? So what does it mean to challenge something? Again, are you agreeing or disagreeing with the subject? Disagreeing. So what else do you need to challenge something? Same as defending, right? Alright, so when you're challenging an argument, you're explaining why that statement or argument is incorrect. In order to explain why it is incorrect, you must first have prior knowledge of the content, right? You can't just start talking about it and not have any idea what you're talking about. So for example, you may think that abortion is wrong 100% of the time, but without some type of background knowledge to support why you think it is wrong, it's just your opinion. So in the case of what we're doing today, you will be disagreeing with how King Lear feels about the relationship between wealth and justice. Does anybody have any questions about that? This is probably the hardest one. What does it mean to qualify an argument? Anybody have any ideas? So as she said, you're agreeing and disagreeing. So when you qualify an argument, you are explaining why this statement is both true and false. You are not choosing one side of the argument and sticking to it. Instead, you are presenting facts and examples from each side to support your claim. For example, you may feel that abortion is only right if the mother's health is in danger. In this case, you are agreeing that abortion is okay, but only in that sense. So for today's example that we're doing, you're going to look at both sides of the argument and you're going to find facts to support each side. Does anybody have any questions about that? Good. now you all are going to get into your bird groups that we've already assigned you guys. And we are going to draw to see who gets what. You all are more than welcome to write on paper. It doesn't have to be in this form. You can just jot down notes for your presentation. Draw to this group. What'd you get? So you're challenged. Alright. You guys are going to have about 20 minutes to come up with a short presentation. You are allowed to use your phones or the laptops. There's a couple of them up here to find something. In the directions it says to be sure to use specific references to your reading, observations, or your personal experiences. So you can draw from whatever resources you need to. If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand and I'll come and help you guys. Also, don't forget to paraphrase what he is saying. That's also in the instructions.
The lines above are from the speech of Henry. Write carefully these essays, which you'll briefly paraphrase, list and defend, and then the challenge is view a relationship between wealth and justice. Support your argument with specific references to your reading, observation, or experience. So wealth and justice, it's what?
Classes is immoral obedience.
So do you think that he is saying that if you're wealthy?
If you're poor, then
You're
you're
going to be morally.
wicked. You're just gonna be bad.
And then if the robes and stuff have it.
So robes is what happens.
Yeah, the wealth is kind of like more you but
Like how we are, the poor can do a kid like try for anything. Some rich people can have it.
Okay, so the first one that just because you're poor, then you're
Now you need to qualify.
people would view you as being wicked. The second one is
Well, somebody might say
growth
that it
and
doesn't.
you don't see that, yeah, you don't see it.
Hold on both sides.
place
So we're
and
thinking-
gold. So you have money, so you can like have this in
Thinking that
pretty much. I think that's what it's saying.
Like you're hiding the people with all your gold.
But y'all are more than welcome to
There's
use your
nothing
phones
to
to
say.
take research if you need to do that or just from your personal experiences, anything. It came from
I know, just that vice helped a lot.
Yeah.
And a strong lance of justice hurts friends.
If you're poor, then you're gonna be more likely to be punished for it. If you're rich, you're not really. Because it might only you're rich.
Goodness baked in, is that what that's?
If a pole of wisdom is designed to be used by a mounted warrior or cavalry soldier, you lance something.
So a strong words of justice
You
hurts
will be
friends.
punished for things
Honor and
you
rags
do
of
with
people
your
strong
words
as it
and
appears.
others.
Yeah, justice will like start like so we gotta paraphrase this. So we basically say that.
Okay, so paraphrasing it.
Yeah,
then I put poor people have nothing to have their greatness behind. And then rich, more wealthier people can hide theirs behind gold and robes. Wealthier people manage their sins for and then justice will break through it all. Is how I thought that.
But no matter what.
I think it just means like justice will break through the
It's our plays like.
like it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor.
Still until Billy can get away out of trouble.
There's a reason
You
why
can
they
try
do
to,
it.
but it's kind of
I mean, that could there is a reason why someone's poor and there's a reason why someone's wealthy.
They being covered their ethnicity. Second part is the same.
We all.
In rather breaks. The poor are said.
you each can kind of just write down your own notes on the page, and if you just want to have one for the year, you'll look at
Their
it.
ethnicity.
Just
Which
make
we're
sure you
agreeing
have
with this
something.
whole thing, but we gotta disagree with it.
Well, I feel like they're useless now. I was reading an explanation.
I mean,
I think this is good practice for your AP exam too, because as it says up here that you're gonna have about 40 minutes to complete this. So you're taking about 20 minutes to kind of, I would consider this your brainstorming for when you do actually have to write the essay.
Okay, so
what if we disagree with the fact that sometimes, like this part, like justice doesn't always come to the people that are rich.
Old money talk.
yeah, like
punished.
I mean justice, because justice always will go through.
We support.
Yeah, like, we agree with
Yeah,
All the time, that's because they have.
that's what we can disagree
So
with.
that's,
So when they analyze, they
Alright, so and then we'll so we need to have a bunch of arguments for we need to have a bunch of arguments
You also want to
so we can do it.
whether you're rich or poor.
Like so, because we got defense or
Okay.
This is what's
This Shakespeare,
He's,
like you
he's
said,
kind of
there's
saying
no
that like, poor people
get
get punished more than rich
so what's the that justice always is from the rich.
pull from your like reading observations or your own experiences, and you can argue that, because what you be doing is you're, and that's your challenge to participate. Right now, I'm like, it's trying to challenge, yeah.
Alright, makes sense.
Yeah,
Pretty much, even for living by like,
yeah.
one day of community service or something. No, I would something I would do, say that.
How would you even search to do to
I guess I
getting
would.
It's true.
Yeah.
You'll have about 10 more minutes.
There we go. Took us 10 minutes to paraphrase the thing.
So does editing still
Oh yeah, it
as
turns
like,
into that.
like nowadays you have like celebrities and some that are put in rehab, well, poor people are just thrown in jail for addiction and drug addiction.
Ten social media. And then we talk about Baltimore.
Oh, I get,
Well, like, they did a conversation.
so it's, like I said, but it can't.
Like if they accuse me, like it doesn't have to be true. Like if they accuse it, I'm gonna get my property, everything.
Okay, so this one says close out like charged with sexual assault, but the woman would not touch
Like
the
they don't have to be
property.
like 5 minutes.
Doesn't wealth include power? So it could be like all those police officers or like
Yeah.
But yeah, it's only 40 minutes and it's your, I would say,
Don King.
it's kind of like your own man.
Yeah,
I saw him on there, but all the, I saw him just like that.
Makes sense.
Oh, well, you just, just a little bit of stuff like that, but not much.
That kind of gets you getting in trouble.
I think you're just like, that's another reason why I'm trying to do a lot. Here, why you look at this place and like within that look like I'll do the celebrities and you'll have a justice thing and then when you get to something too. Just one like
You got this.
yeah. Yeah. What can we give her? What's another
Okay,
one?
so you
She's doing we're both doing like the wealth and power. Why don't she do like people that were convicted for their things?
You can look up statistics on like crime rate.
So what would you call like roads and bird down island? Like what kind of island? Like I mean like
Okay, here's the-
what would you call
Whatever,
like?
whatever you're thinking.
Are human beings living and are able to have their needs.
Like it, like I mean like metaphors. Because it's not actually, I mean, it's sort of like a personification.
Some bad things. Mark Wahlberg is not. No, that's Marty Zuckerberg.
He's an actor.
He told me to take the money.
Okay, so
He said you can be
they're
wealthy,
saying
wealthy,
that
but
in the
can't,
end,
people that
justice,
can't be in trouble.
like justice covers everything, like no matter if you're rich or poor, everybody is justice.
No, right,
Like
she wrote.
justice happens to all of them. But we're saying that like the wealthy
Baltimore's a big one.
get away with a lot because they have money while the poor people don't, like, just because they don't have money, they don't get by.
Just search up.
Like
Do you think you can get it done in the next 5 minutes?
are you like comparing like a rich
We
person
got a plan.
got
Okay.
this crime while
Do we
someone
not,
else
how's this gonna be
with the
set
very
up? Like,
same
if they're
crime?
gonna go, then
Whoever wants to go first. Yeah, we'll do the defend bears and challenge and we'll do politics.
so it's all like one thing? No one gets to set up.
We could talk about
Do we have a time limit?
like an annex?
We'll have 19 minutes left.
Do you want to talk about Sandra Bland?
Do you want to look at your plan?
Okay. Find like a crime case where somebody was poor and they didn't really do a whole lot, but they got like a lot of time in prison for it or something. Like what was something that somebody
Okay,
not
so,
on that.
so find somebody that was poor who would say the kids and see what their
You have
job
another cool
is.
person over there, and they're just, they do the same thing.
And then
Everyone's
this
just like,
one
oh my
was
gosh,
you
they
two
are
get drink and married, but we're
useless in
like,
society.
Or even like clothes. So
I'll do 3 of them.
Potato sacks or whatever.
Yeah,
So that's
they try to make people pay like the money.
Snoop.
Okay, I've got a perfect.
Oh, well, I don't see.
Do you have like the
That was, he was.
like to defend it?
I put like, I put,
This is my parents. This is just.
And he kept repeating the name, so I knew.
That's like your S.
I put, for to support it, I put an example of the famous people going through rehab. And then I put, what Shakespeare says, a plating sin with
As I was saying, like,
to cover up a
if you
wrong
have money,
action.
you can get away, you can get out of, you know, being punished.
So I mentioned like, what's some background
Shown to
stuff?
the public. Then you can't save yourself, but I mean, it's not that many.
Compared to what?
You're saying yes now.
I like to, the amazing.
Yeah, me too.
Just
She, well, I mean,
Time and money.
was she on drugs?
Oh, Justin Bieber was like, what were their specific, like what did they exactly do? Like I wrote down Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, what was the?
Yeah. What were their crimes?
She was like in and out of trouble because they had a rehab, so they ended up going to jail for life for the same time.
Ooh, a timeline
Of
of
all
all
her arrests.
Also, like they, like the rich, they have the money to bail themselves out.
You all have a couple more minutes.
I don't want to do
What if they invest in the police just so they can save up to build themselves up?
2007.
Oh, under the influence and possession of cocaine, not alcohol.
Just wait, under the influence of cocaine.
Oh, here's another one.
We don't have to add
But just make sure you write down some kind of notes.
Yeah, we have, I mean, I have.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
She's been.
I just didn't wanna run out of
I can tell, yeah, you're fine.
The liquid California
So,
jail.
I mean,
Oh, wait,
So,
spin.
You all have 1 minute left.
84.
what do you need for
Okay, so what about a comparable other person?
what about, and that was like
Drug use.
In the play, it gives examples
Like,
of how
they're
to
like,
choose.
we're gonna say
It
it's
talks
like,
about Father's dog got barked at bacon, and they claim that the dog is the dog's authority.
broken someone's house.
And how
What's one of the crimes they did?
That's still the dog and market
Assault.
effect. So
yeah,
it's like,
it's just the beggars, it's not it's an murder.
attempted murder.
That's what it's
What does it matter?
Let's say this one was.
okay, and
So like if it were to like a regular
Well, we say
person,
5 years.
yield it back.
With no parole.
And
Is everybody ready to present, or do you all need just a couple more minutes?
We're pretty good.
Give you guys a minute.
It's time to take a cop.
or how long is someone using cocaine in jail for? Or wait, I don't need it.
I thought yes, he was. Eric Garner. His was on the side, but, police officer.
Is that before she got out?
While they did arrest him.
Okay, so.
Ready, sir?
Than me.
Once arrested, was convicted for
People are
5 years.
for us, it's like you can get
With no
us
parole.
using money, but like,
And so
again, like I said, you can be more legally protected.
But she was
You
driving.
get there like 20 don't mind.
I mean,
Amount of jail time for drug crime. This is from drug crime law.
So is yours short and sweet?
Yeah, mine's short. This bottom is like.
you can add the wealthy laws to the
I'm gonna say 3. I'll say we do mine. How about you go? Yeah, or Sarah will go first and then you, and then me, and I'll put Mark Bell as mine.
Then I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put, so like, otherwise this is like not well, you don't get special treatment, like in the case with.
So this is
Mark
good.
Wahlberg, who is only sitting at 2 years, and only served 45 days, while the young man.
Like-
Just
Say
say that.
that and I'll type it.
I'm gonna say, Matthew Broderick.
I'm not gonna go.
Is there a button we need to hit?
Okay, let's start moving our desks back to where they went. So does somebody want to read the prompt for me really quickly? That you all,
Just where it starts, the lines above?
yeah,
The lines above are.
or the actual prompt from King Lear, sorry.
Okay. Through tattered clothes, small vices do appear. Robes and furred gowns hide all. Plates in with gold. And the strong lance of justice hurtless breaks. Arm it in rags. A pygmy straw does pierce it.
And does somebody want to read the directions down below them?
The lines above are from a speech by King Lear. Write it carefully, using an essay in which he briefly paraphrase Lear's statement, then defend, challenge, or qualify his view of the relationship between wealth and justice. Support your argument with specific references to your reading, observation, or experience.
Of course, you all are doing just a short presentation. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the defending group go first, then the challenging group, and then the qualifying group. So who are my defenders? Right here. Okay, you all have the floor.
I'm making them listen to my paraphrase because I made it detailed. Okay. In Shakespeare's writing, King Lear makes a statement stating his beliefs that the wealthy do not receive justice for wrongdoing as strongly, or if at all, as their poorer counterparts. This is made evident by the line, robes and furred gowns hide all, alluding to the rich by their tendency to wear extravagant clothing. This personification of their clothing is also used to bring to light the fact that their misdeeds or crimes are hidden behind gold. This fact is also supported by the line, plates in with gold, meaning that the rich hide behind their crimes with their money. Okay, let me move in.
This was just my version of the essay, like for that. In the speech given by King Lear in the play King Lear, it is said that wrongdoings of those who are poor are more evident and looked down upon in comparison of those of great wealth, which even in current times can be proven true. In the play, it is reference to how little thought of a beggar is when a farmer allows his dog to bark at him, but how the farmer may yield the dog if it were to bark at another patron. In the same dialogue, it is also reference to how a cop may whip a prostitute, even though the same should be done to him for lusting towards the same actions.
Another real life example that we brought together was Lindsay Lohan. She was put under multiple charges of driving under the influence of cocaine and its use, and she spent a whopping 84 minutes in jail, whereas poor people and just poor people in general would spend a good 2 to 3 years, 60 months, depending on how many times they used it. she's been charged several times, but she keeps getting rehab, and she's not in jail for any long or significant period of time because she is rich and can bet herself out. Okay.
That's it.
Who are my challengers?
Okay, so when we interpreted King Lear, we said that poor people are pretty much viewed as wicked and unable to hide their wickedness, while the wealthy mask their sins with the wealth. But in the end, justice will come through no matter what. But in this case, justice doesn't always come to everyone. A lot of the time, the wealthy get away without justice at all, or just a small community service job. While the poor, because they have no money, they don't get good lawyers or have the best court, so they end up going to jail for life for the same crime that a celebrity would only get a few weeks.
Wealth, however, does not only pertain towards money or clothes, it also pertains to power. And in this case, we can see the death of Eric Garner, who died because he was suffocated by a police officer. He kept repeating, "I can't breathe," 11 times, but the police officer still held him down, and after he lost consciousness, the police finally let up. But 1 hour later, he died in the hospital. And when the coroner looked at his body, it was considered a homicide. But no one was charged in this homicide until And while someone was put in front of the jury to be tried, he was later found he was not indicted.
And I focus on more of the celebrity side. So one of these is Rebecca Gayheart. And in 2001, she was charged with vehicular manslaughter, where she hit like a kid when he was crossing the road. And she got a 1-year suspension of her license, 3 years probation, a $2,800 fine, and 750 hours of community service. And also, Mark Wahlberg was sentenced for 2 years for attempted murder, but he was released 45 days after he was sentenced to jail.
And poor people, they just don't seem to be treated equal. They're kind of looked down on. And there was a case where a young lower class man attempted murder and was once arrested and was convicted and got 5 years with no parole.
So, in other words, just because you're not wealthy, you don't get the special treatment that a celebrity would get. Like in the case of Mark Wahlberg and the young man, Mark Wahlberg only was sentenced 2 years, and he only had to stay in jail for the 45 days, whereas the young man had to stay in jail for the 5 years without the possibility of parole. So, as you can see, like, they aren't treated the same because of their level, their status on the totem pole of.
Okay, when we paraphrase it, we basically said that when someone's wealthy, they can buy their way out of problems. When poor people, when they have a problem, they just have to deal with it and go through it.
And we are the qualifying side, so we have to support both sides. And for the wealthy can buy the way out of problems. Life is a pay-to-win situation. The poor cannot buy their way out of problems and out of situations when the rich can buy their way out completely or get off with minimal punishment at all. But against it, we have the rich. You cannot commit large crime and get away with it if everyone knows about it. Meat packaging factories here in the Industrial Revolution, they would package meat with dead rats and poison. But once the public knew about it, they were forced to change, which included spending money on new machines and regulations, buying new people, or hiring new workers. They can't get away with crimes if everyone knows about it.
Yeah, morally, pretty much morally, like if the wealthy, if they do something bad, like he said with the the institution, the company, people won't buy products or anything, and that hurts them, even though justice has nothing to do with that.
Karma.
So do you all agree or disagree with King Lear? Or do you think there's,
I think there's some truth in this.
Yeah,
I
I
also
agree
think they
too.
do, they can, they don't have to work all this time.
so you're kind of on the qualifying side? Anybody else? Okay. So on the same sheet that you did your voting on, we're gonna do a quick exit slip. And it says, do you feel better prepared to write an essay in this format? Do you think this activity helped to better prepare you for what you will be required to do on the AP exam? So if you thought this was hard, write down why you thought it was hard, and then if it brought you some experience and some help, write down what that did for you. I'll give you all 2 or 3 minutes to do that. Does anybody want to share their thoughts? Did it help you? Did it not help you?
I think that it did help a lot because we've done a lot of AP stuff and it's hard to understand and a lot. So I think that with this, like it was short, so kind of helped us be able to pick it apart a little bit better and we would be able to understand it. So now we'll be able to use that on the actual AP part where we can do it with like a whole paragraph instead of just a little.
Do you think it helped with time management at all?
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any thoughts? Pass those up to the front along with your presentation worksheet that you took notes on. If you took notes on a separate sheet of paper, pass that up as well. Make sure your names are on